This is Mike Klingler, and I want to introduce you to Ron Montaruli, who's CEO of Unifii. Before I just go over these credentials and his experience, I just want to underscore this is about a lot more than what you may think it is, and that is the essence of what brought me to Unifii. I was very skeptical about any opportunity, extraordinarily skeptical. And when I met Ron, he was really responding to questions that I had raised in a video that I had put out as I was analyzing and reviewing different opportunities, and Unifii was one of them. And I had a real skeptical perspective. He didn't just answer all of my questions about regulatory issues and the value of the product and the long-term potential of the company in terms of their background and experience and ability to implement their incredible vision. But beyond that was something more. And that's what I wanted you guys to get out of this live session, sit down interview with Ron today, was what I got when I met with him, which is that there's something deeper that's driving this that I found is really what makes or breaks the long-term viability of a vision. So stick with me here. Be sure to get through the end of this because I think you're going to pick up what I did if you do, which is that this is not just an extraordinary company from what the product is offering, which is outstanding, but is also a phenomenal opportunity in terms of what's driving it and the community and the value of the community that's coming together and what we can do together because of the vision and the purpose behind this. So just real quick on Ron Montaruli, and I'll bring him in. He has a traditional financial market background. He's been an executive of two separate billion-dollar global enterprises. He's experienced in structuring and running global companies for global growth. So, that's important in this day and age to be able to have that global experience. He's developed culture within 26 different countries. Also very important when you're looking at expanding globally. He's fluent in both Spanish and French. And he actually broke into fluent Spanish and French during my first meeting with him. Again, very impressive and important for someone building a global company. He's passionate about helping others learn how to profit in financial markets. And guys, this is the part, like it sounded like a talking point to me. You hear someone's passionate about helping others, but that is truly what I know about this man and what I started to glean and have since fully come to understand is this passion and the personal caring of others and wanting to pass on this information. If you listen to this long enough, I am certain you're going to get that as well. And even if you don't realize yet how important that is in your decision making, I think if you sit with this entire interview, you're going to see how much that matters, not just for you, but you're going to see how much that matters in carrying a vision and implementing a vision of this scale forward. And he's inspired to make a global contribution, and that just really comes through. So without further ado, Ron, are you out there?
It's a pleasure to be on the call here, and it was wonderful speaking with you last time. We did have a chance to chat, and love to answer your questions for you.
Yeah, I really appreciate it. And again, a lot of people who have followed me for a long time, they knew that I was looking for an opportunity, have been for a long time, that I really felt safe with. I felt I could build a home with, and I was real skeptical, quite frankly, with any opportunity I first see. And before I was able to meet with you, that was kind of the angle I was looking at. But when I started to talk with you, not just about your background, your experience, which was very impressive, but about the vision and the mission of Unifii. And and I got a sense of, they sound like talking points to someone who doesn't really feel it themselves, but when I got a true sense of how much you care about what you're doing, I think that's really what won me over and got me to ask more questions and really open up and listen to the whole story. And it just really impressed me. So again, I just want to share that with people and pass that along because I think we have one heck of an opportunity here. And I think that's really why when it all comes down to it. So just starting out, what inspired you to create Unifii? How did the idea behind Unifii and starting all of this come into fruition in the first place?
Well, I've been a financial enthusiast for quite a while. My university education was in finance, and I love marketing as well. And I just had been in the markets for a long time. I've done a very good job personally, and enjoyed building different types of tools and marketing tools and things of that nature. And so I was just trucking along, doing my own thing and having fun. And I happened to get together with a good friend of mine from church, and we were just kind of sitting together. And one of the things we talked about, and I'll share maybe this a little bit later on, but one of the things we talked about was wanting to be able to do something to leave a legacy. And so we were just talking about a whole bunch of different things. And we're talking about his experience, his background, my experience, my background. His is in the technical areas, building out products for companies like a small company like IBM and things like that. And he was semi-retired, I was semi-retired, and we were just talking about different types of things that we've done in the past and what we want to do in the future. And then one thing led to another, and we thought, if we really, really want to have a massive impact in this world, instead of just saying it, but why don't we just go out there and do something huge? We sat back and said, listen, why don't we take your experience, why don't we take my experience, and why don't we put it together and provide the world some incredible information that we were only going to share with our friends and family, which we have, to allow them to have financial success. But we thought, wait, why don't we go one step better? What are some of the reasons why people don't actually do a lot of things that are on their bucket list, or a lot of the things that come from their heart that they want to do, but they don't do them? And the reality, I've been in that place before, Mike, where I've wanted to do things and I didn't have the funds to do it. And so we sat back and said, what if we were to be able to educate the world, provide them tools that can help them on a financial platform so that they can help themselves, and then we can rally that entire organization, create what we'd say an army of people all around the world, and to go out there and do good in this world. So initially we kind of looked at one another and said, well, that's a big dream. And then we kind of just started breaking it down, to be totally honest with you, Mike. And we thought, you know what, we can do this. If we really put our mind to this, we can really do this. And that's exactly what we did. And about 3.5 months ago, we got to work and we started getting the people that we felt were the right people to get together with us. And before you knew it, we launched our company. We had everything in place. We own absolutely everything. We didn't borrow a penny from a soul. We're completely debt-free. And we are now currently fulfilling really a dream where we have an opportunity to empower people globally with education that could help them financially. And we also have an ability to provide people a business opportunity, if they choose, to generate more wealth. And then the big reason we're together is to rally this group of people, identify different areas in the world where we can have a positive impact, and do that, and to leave a legacy, and to allow others. And I know this sounds silly or it sounds cliche, but to truly help other people, because I think that we generally want to do that, but sometimes we actually need help to do that. And whether it's a financial or setting something up, or putting people together and bringing them into an environment that they would have otherwise never have done on their own, whatever it is. And if we can be that catalyst and put a team together, well, then why not? And that's exactly what we did.
That's awesome. I've had a chance to meet some of the team. Very impressed. That was also something that really caught my attention right away because, we were just talking a little earlier. That's really, really important. You could have a great vision and great intentions, but without a great team behind it, it's really hard to implement. So you definitely got that covered. Um, you touched upon this a little bit already, but for those that are just kind of tuning in, trying to figure out what Unifii has to offer, what is it really all about? Can you just kind of sum up real quick, what does Unifii offer in terms of both its product and also what makes it so compelling, in terms of the impact they can have for people?
Sure. I'm going to spend a little bit of time here, if you don't mind.
Yeah, absolutely.
I come from the financial markets. Cryptocurrency is fairly still a new space. It really hasn't hit really the global world, but for a couple of years ago. Yes, it was here in 2009 with Bitcoin and things of that nature, but it really hasn't gotten going until a couple of years ago. Well, prior to that, obviously, I had no understanding what cryptocurrency was. I'm very involved in the financial markets, and that really is an area that I excel in. But that being the case, I also started to notice that there was a lot of younger people, such as my son and many other people that we know, that were all of a sudden enamored by this whole thing of investing and things of that nature, which was kind of funny because I'd brought it up many other times in the past, but it was kind of like a boring, that's what old people do. And now all of a sudden there's this whole new generation out there that's kind of excited with cryptocurrency, blockchain technology, Bitcoin, Ethereum, all these things that are going on. They get excited. But here's the reality. As I started to kind of dig into that a little bit, Mike, I started realizing that a lot of people were kind of getting hurt. A lot of people didn't have a freaking clue what they were doing.
Right.
And I also noticed that a lot of people needed some guidance. And it's just second nature for me to want to help people. And so I thought, what an opportunity. This is kind of like being in the internet introduction to the world in the early 90s. This is happening right now. People are excited. They want to get involved, but they haven't got a clue. What if we put something together and really wanted to guide people along the way? And so, just so you know, Mike, for Unify the way we are today, we felt that the easiest way to attract the marketplace to the company was to get involved with the cryptocurrency world and educate them through Prosperity U. Give them a key understanding of what cryptocurrency is, how do you get involved, all the different acronyms, all the different things that are involved with it, and then help them with information that can make better decisions. The way I approach things is probably the opposite to the way most people approach things. When I wanted to get involved with cryptocurrency, I thought to myself, I'm watching all these videos, I'm watching CNN, I'm watching all MSN, I'm watching everything, and I'm seeing and hearing about it's a bubble, you're going to lose your money, this is the greatest thing since sliced bread. I mean, I've heard everything. And I thought, you know what? What if I was to tap into my own skepticism, my own concerns, my own uncertainties, and my own fears? And what if I was to answer all of those and come up with those answers with something that people can follow? Well, if I could do it for myself, I have a feeling that everybody out there would like it as well. And that's what we did. So we created Prosperity U, which is a library of videos that really helps people to understand the cryptocurrency world, the money market world, and what finance is, and how you can truly set yourself up financially if you understand some key points. Then we thought, well, there's also a very speculative market out there, i.e. these things called these, ICOs, initial coin offerings, and pre-ICO. And so I dug into that and I'm like, my gosh, the average individual can't do this. They're going to be sending money all over the place. They're going to get lost. There's games being played. So I thought, well, what do I know? I know the stock markets. I know these type of environments. And I know that penny stocks can be very lucrative, speculative investments for long term. Well, what if we went out there and did different types of reports on coins that actually already hit the marketplace, Mike, that were already in production? They've been around for 6, 7, 8 months. We followed the roadmap. We interviewed a lot of these CEOs. We really dug in and said, if you're gonna put a little bit of money in a, kind of a buy and hold long term, see what happens type of an investment, why don't we do some investigative work and provide that with our members so that, even though it's still speculative and you don't know what's going to happen, at least you got more information to make better decisions. At the end of the day, it's all about making better decisions. And then the other piece of the pie is I come from the philosophy of protect and grow, not grow and protect. Most people are afraid to lose their money. I didn't want to get into cryptocurrency, buy Bitcoin or whatever thing and lose it. But again, I was also using money that I could lose if I did. But just because I could lose it doesn't mean I want to lose it. I don't think anybody would debate me on that one. So what we did was we said, all right, why don't I start to take some of the information, algorithms, and just the technical analysis that I know that I use, and see if I can provide this information in the cryptocurrency world where there's a huge amount of excitement and a huge amount of people that are wanting to learn. And that's where it gave birth to our live signals and our daily signals. And Daily signals are really more long term. They're really more provided to protect your cryptocurrency wealth in a bear market. A bear market is when the markets are going down, like it has been since the 18th of December with Bitcoin and every other coin that follows suit. If you know anything about our products, you'll know that those markets have gone down anywhere between 50 to 60%. Yet, if you had followed our daily signals, you'd be somewhere in the 40, 50% above. So, pretty powerful stuff. I think a lot of people would like to have even more, but I'm pretty happy when I can save my money in a bear market and I can even grow my money in a bear market. Well, the live signals is just for that person who kind of wants to feel like they're a trader. They really want to get in there because I started to find out that there was a lot of people wanting to trade. So we went in there and said, well, why don't we figure out a way to be able to find profits within these peaks and valleys as the volatility was so incredible? I thought we could try and see if we can find something and do that. And that's exactly what we've done. So not getting too technical, Mike, what we did was we basically wanted to educate people. We're giving them information that can help them to make better buying and selling decisions so that they can protect and grow their cryptocurrency. And we did it at a very, very affordable price because I felt that this was the people's movement. And because it was the people's movement, a lot of people don't realize that about 40% of the world's population is unbanked, which is why cryptocurrency and blockchain technology is going to change the world. So we wanted to put this at a price point where people could say, this makes sense. It's worth it for me to educate myself at a cost that makes sense. And for me to continue to get this information, which costs us money, obviously, we could do it at a very, very reasonable price. And that's exactly what we did.
It's awesome. Yeah, I've been really impressed here just even early on. People that have started following the live signals, the daily signals, what I'm hearing back, really, really positive. Prosperity U, just digging into that, extraordinarily impressed. And a lot of people are really excited about the altcoin reports. Haven't dug into those other than just to look over them at this point because we've just started. But I think that's something a lot of people really excited about. And I think as time goes on, something I'm going to be really excited about using. Really, really positive stuff coming back already. Now, just in what you just covered, you kind of answered it, but I just want to dig in a little closer. The tagline, I love the tagline, real freedom, real simple. That's what I was looking for. For those that are building businesses, we need simplicity. You start to get things too complicated, too complex, and people can't benefit from it. They can't follow it, they can't understand it. So I'm really excited about that aspect of it. Can you kind of share with us how you came up with that message? I get the sense that it's more than just a tagline. There's a lot of mindfulness behind that.
Sure.
How did you come up with that, and how does Unifii make achieving freedom simpler?
So, as you know, I have 18 plus years experience in the direct sales industry, and I have quite a bit of experience in the financial world. I've been a trainer, VP sales, personal development, leadership development. I've done all that stuff. And if I break it down to the most simplest of simple understanding is when we're talking to someone, what you want that individual to say in their own head as they're doing their own self-talk is they say to oneself, I can do that. You see, until someone says to themselves, I can do that, they don't do it. So let me kind of fast forward. In the financial world, if you've probably noticed, a lot of the financial institutions make things look and appear very complicated. Well, there's a reason for that. Because as long as it looks complicated and you say to yourself, I can't do that. And because it's money and you don't want to lose money, you feel it's complicated and hard, well, then you're going to lean on someone else. So the, quite frankly, not overly complicated at all, is made to be complicated so that people lean on the financial institutions. So we knew that we had to do something that was super simple, super easy, and provide people some very basic pillars of information that would allow someone to say, well, I can do that. And that's why we are focusing on the keyword of simplicity. Same with the business. Again, if you look at our business plan, our rewards program, there's three ways that you can earn revenue. We have made it super simple that anybody can explain it. It's not hard to understand, and it's incredibly simple to benefit from. So my philosophy is keep it simple, because the simpler it is, the reality is more people will actually do it. So it doesn't matter what it is. And I have another approach to life, and that is to do less better. I think a lot of people like to do a lot of things. I'm not 100% sure why, but if you could do less better, again, you simplify things. What happens is people actually do it. And folks, the reality is this: information is absolutely useless unless it's applied. And wisdom is actually knowledge in action. It's not just knowledge. And so we felt that if we could put together a program both on the financial side of things as well as the business side of things, and we simplified it that the average individual who is busy at work or whatever the case may be can use the tools and apply the tools in their own lives, then we know they actually will have real freedom. And that was the whole objective and the whole understanding behind the tagline, because that is exactly how we function. When someone brings something to us, Mike, we always ask ourselves, okay, how simple is that? And will people be able to use it? If they can't, it's useless to us and it's useless to them. So there's no need to have it.
Right. Yeah, and anyone that's accessed uh, Unify so far, going back there, you can see right away the way it's organized, the way everything's laid out, you feel at ease. You know, a lot of times in the past, when I'm looking at financial research information, the immediate response is overwhelmed. So, fantastic job already just out of the gate with being able to organize that, simplify it, and accomplish that goal. If we fast forward, let's say a decade,
Yeah.
and you were to look back on
Mm-hmm.
the impact that Unify had and all this work, and I know you guys have been putting in a lot of work just getting this prepped, and of course, going to be a lot more work to come. You look back after all that's said and done, what are some things that you'd like to be able to have seen accomplished that would make you feel really good, just personally and professionally, and to know that it, wow, it was a success?
Yeah. Well, success is kind of a funny word, isn't it? Because it
Yeah.
really does mean different things to different people. And um, the reality is, you guys clearly know who we are as a company, because I'm looking at the slide here under success, and you've actually nailed it. It's got nothing to do with our success. It's really got to do with everybody else's success. Um, but if I was to boil it down, I would go right back to why did we start this company in the first place? And again, the reason was to be able to leave a legacy, to be able to do something way, way beyond what we could have done on our own. So the answer to the question is, how much were we able to give? That's going to ultimately be the deciding factor of how successful was this company. And I'd love to be able to have given away at least $1 million every year that we've been able to use around the world in different areas of the world. And that's important because there's a lot of issues out there. And we don't want to be pigeonholed to one environment, but we want to be able to be spread around the world. And we want to be able to tie in to what's pertinent to people in their own countries, in their own part of the world, whether it's, helping uh, different organizations educate women where women are not even allowed to learn or given the opportunity to learn, or whether it's tapping into different communities that don't even have electricity, don't even have water, and be able to do that for them. There's diseases out there that we think that we can go out there and be able to maybe tap in and help. There's just so many different things, environmental issues that a lot of people are very passionate about. So as a company, our whole Unifii Cares is really all about tapping into people that are in parts of the world that actually motivate them. This is not about our dream. It's about, like I said before, how do I help you fulfill your dream And when I say your dream, I mean your heart dream. I mean the dream that sits inside you that says, I'd love to be able to do something else. I want to feel good about it. For whom much is given, much is expected. Why can't we do better? And if we can pool those different ideas and thoughts together, and all of a sudden imagine this. I'm looking at the slide in front of me right now with that globe. And imagine this, little tiny flags, little Unifii flags all over that globe that can pop up as a person scrolls around the globe. And these are all the areas around the world with different needs and different purposes that we had an opportunity to bring people together and have a positive impact in that environment. And so, Mike, I don't want to tell you that we're going to do this, this, and that, because I really don't know what that's going to look like. What I do know is that we're going to band people together. We're going to lead the charge. We're going to put our money where our mouth is, and we're going to encourage others to come with us. And we're going to find really, really important causes out there that we can go out there and have a positive impact. Because I'm going to go one step further. Not only will Unifii be a leading force in many of these areas, but we happen to know a lot of other CEOs, a lot of companies out there. And let me tell you this, when we lead the charge, it's not hard for me to get on the phone and make a phone call and say, listen, this is what we're doing. Why don't you join me? And why don't your buddies join you? And why don't we grab 5 or 10 or 20 or 50 different companies and empower those people to be able to join us as well? So it's not only our group, but it's who can we influence that is doing something completely different that also wants to leave a legacy. Why don't we expand that way? That's how my brain works.
And that's awesome. I mean, that's really part of the conversation that we had that really opened my mind up to listen to the other aspects of this and see, the other key parts of this before I could jump in. Uh, Knowing and just speaking to others a little bit about this before we continue, I just want to say those that are looking for an opportunity that's going to last, that want to build a residual income that's going to impact their family for years and even decades to come. What Ron was just speaking to there is key. There has to be more. I mean, making money is important. Money does make the world go around. We all need it. It's extremely important. And the financial research products being, extremely valuable and effective is extremely important. The opportunity is important. But to have a company that really has the leadership caring about the impact they're going to have in the world and giving back. Robin knew the questions I was going to ask, so she actually put these slides together, and she did nail it on that last one based on your response, and it's because she's been talking with you as well. These are the values that attracted us to you and to this company, and it's my hope that it will be what really defines who we attract going forward and get to work with, beyond just this being a phenomenal opportunity. But let's steer this back to the opportunity side.
Sure.
I kind of just spoke to what really drew me to the opportunity beyond the outstanding product and the brilliant compensation plan, but that deeper value driven purpose that's behind this that just really gets me excited and tells me this is going to be here for a very long time. Let's kind of circle back around to that opportunity question. What would you say, other than that, which is a big piece, sets Unifii apart, most from other opportunities and options that people have out there as a vehicle, for creating residual income or financial freedom for their family and themselves?
Well, I think we need to remember that we've just gotten started. So your rocket there just got off the ground,
Right.
And we just got off the ground. And so we've come out with, as I just shared with you, the different types of products that we have. But that's really just the beginning. We're definitely going to be expanding what we're providing our information for, always keeping in mind that we want to keep things simple. So what's going to separate us is the fact that we have incredible information that allows us to provide really, really good information that helps people to help themselves. That's a key point. But we want to expand that. And the reason I say that is because there's still the majority of the people in the world actually don't know about cryptocurrency, or they may have heard the word Bitcoin, but they're certainly not involved. And so there's this other massive, massive group of people that still don't clearly understand retirement plans. They don't understand an IRA properly. They don't understand their RSP. They don't understand their 401ks. They don't understand their superannuations. They don't understand how they could be generating a significant amount of tax-free money for themselves. They are still depending on other people, advisors, and things of that nature. And we're not financial advisors. We don't touch anybody's money ever. The whole point of this is to empower you to be in control of your money. But we need to give you some information that's going to help you on, the devastating effect of fees and how you avoid those fees so that someone else is not taking 50 or 60% of your retirement money. So we're going to start getting into other areas that are going to be able to help people in the stock markets as well around the world, where people will be able to take control of their own retirement plans, to be able to sit back and say, are you kidding me? I can do this. I'm allowed to do this. I think back to my parents in 2008, and maybe some folks listening here on the call were a part of that, or maybe they had their parents in the same scenario. When the market crashed in 2008 to 2009, people lost 53% of their retirement money. Now just imagine that you were just about to retire, or you just retired, or you're 3-4 years away from retirement and you just lost 50% of your dream. There were ways to protect yourself, easy ways to protect yourself. But you're not going to hear that from anyone on television. You're not going to hear that from anyone who happens to be managing your funds, because the reality is that would take money away from them. So what we're doing is not telling you to attack anyone. What we're trying to do is try to help you protect yourself for those that got caught in the 2000 crash. And what about the upcoming crash? What about me educating you and teaching you that if you could put $25 or $50 aside, if you have a young child or even a teenage child, or you yourself are young, that within 20 years from now, you'll never have to work again if you have the right information. Maybe that's 15 years from now. I can't guarantee anything, you know that, but I can give you tools, I can give you education, I can make it super easy to use. And we're going to build out this company so that we're not just a shot in the pan. We're not just like everybody else. We're really going to try to tap into what people want, and then give them the information that they need so that they can ultimately truly set themselves up and truly find that time and financial freedom that people are all looking for. And to be honest with you, Mike, I think a lot of people have given up on it. I really think that they don't even believe it's possible. Discretionary income is getting less and less every year. The wealthy are getting wealthier, the poor are getting poorer, the middle class is being destroyed, and people don't know what to do. And so if we could just be a group of people, and this is why, by the way, I wanted to be involved in direct sales, word of mouth marketing, because the reality is that's how this gets around. This is how something goes viral. This is how something goes global. When you, Michael, can sit there and talk to someone else and say, I've experienced this, and that person says, and that's how it works, because this is a different time. It's a different time. And this, if there's ever been a time, now is the opportunity to be able to get an environment with great information that people can use, be more than just unidimensional, be very holistic in our approach. And that gets around, and that's going to help a lot of people. Because I know I hate saying this, but at the end of the day, we believe that if we can help enough people help themselves, then we can help those people help others. But we have to help other people help themselves first. And we're going to put the pieces together to be able to do that. And so, in a month from now, we're going to have a little bit more. In 3 months from now, we're going to have a little bit more. In a year from now, we'll have a little bit more. But we'll always keep it in a way that people can follow and use the information we're providing.
Yeah, wow. That's powerful. And you covered those points with me when we met the first time, that opened my mind and my eyes to what you guys are doing and what you're all about. It's just hearing it again, it's just really, really powerful. The word financially defeated comes to mind when I think of the culture and the mindset out there, right? Like, you spoke to that. Like, that's really the problem that Unifii is solving, is people really feel, like you said, like they've given up hope. Like there's just no chance or hope. And some of them took a stab at crypto, and they didn't have the right tools, and myself included, didn't have the right knowledge, and we made a lot of mistakes and lost a lot of the resources we had. So I think that that's really the mood out there and the tone, and with Unify coming in to solve that problem. I mean, the strength of a company, it comes down to a few things. One of them is definitely being able to, how well do you solve a problem? To solve that problem of helping people have hope again, to not be financially defeated, but to be financially empowered, and to give them real tools and resources to do that, and to have that to go way outside just crypto. I mean, I think it's the other thing I want to really underscore that you were saying there, Ron, talking about longevity of a program, of an opportunity, to be able to set yourself up with residual income with the opportunity, know that it's going to be there. It has to go beyond just cryptocurrency, doesn't it? We don't want to be at the whims of just that market. And although we're all very positive about where that's going to go, it needs to be bigger than that. And just want to underscore, so people heard this, what Ron's saying is they're expanding way beyond that to financially empower people in multitudes of ways. Really, really exciting. And I was just reaching for paper as you were saying things, trying to write things down so I could reiterate them later. One of them was this, I don't know if you've said this before, but the way you said it, I just think it's really powerful as a message, empowering you to take control of your money. That's, I mean, what a concept, right?
What a concept. Yeah.
You think they would have taught that to us in high school and college, but no, as you said, there's a reason why.
Yeah, there is a reason why, and propaganda is alive and well in North America and every parts of the world, my friend. And
Right.
I'm not a skeptic. I'm not a guy that comes up with all these different theories. I just look at reality, and I just realize that television is nothing more than a sporting event. They're all bought by big, powerful people all around the world. And so if us little people, if we could just go and provide people the information they need, hey, we're just doing our part. But I want to say something, Mike, that's really important. You actually said something that made me think of something that is another really key part of what we're about. See, a prosperity you and helping people's financial IQ and increasing that is really at the core of what the company is about. And because there's this vacuum out there where people are really not getting what they need, they're just getting rehashed of the other old stuff that's out there. There's an opportunity to generate some good income through our program, our rewards program, that provides a reward to you for sharing this information around the world. And that rewards plan, which I think is really important to understand, that reward plan can be the genesis of this real freedom we're talking about, because there's a lot of people that they can't put $100 together or $300 together. So what if we provide you a simple to use, simple to understand program that provides information that people want, that you can start generating some revenue from, and then let that be the catalyst, let that be the core money that you need to start using the tools and start multiplying and compounding, and really let that be what's going to ultimately get you to the next place. So again, giving people more hope. It's not about, well, you know what, figure it out, Well, no. Wait a second. Why don't we provide you a home-based business for $279? I mean, you're kidding me? And allow you to cherish that and grow that where it generates revenue, and whether it's in BTC that will pay you or whatever the case may be, you are now well on your way to taking advantage of what I think is one of the most incredible opportunities that any of us will ever put ourselves in, because I really did miss the internet wave. I didn't understand it, and I missed it, but I'm not going to miss this wave, and I certainly hope that I can help a lot of people with that as well.
Powerful. I mean, that's exactly where I'm at too. I miss the internet wave as well, and I've just committed, no matter what, and no matter how many, pitfalls and and trap doors I fell into, to find Unify. Now that I found it, I'm going to run with it. I think we addressed this next question I wanted to ask you just throughout some of our other questions, but I want to really hone in on it, because I think it really speaks to, again, the longevity of the program, but also how it's going to feel to be a part of the family. And I underscore the word family. I know a lot of people throw that around in business because they want to create that, but I think people just listening to you right now must be picking up, as I did when I first met you. But that's just really a part of what you want to create. So talk a little bit about that culture, about the culture you want to create about the kind of person and the values of the person that you want to attract into Unifii to be a part of the founding membership and defining what this company is all about?
Well, I think the first type of people that we have already attracted, which I'm incredibly grateful for, is people that genuinely have a desire to help other people. There's a difference, but what I have personally seen from the leadership and the groups of people that are coming to this company, in talking to them, I haven't met them all, of course, but in talking to them, whether they're in Europe or in Canada, North America or Australia, or now starting to grow significantly in Asia, these are people that actually genuinely want to help other people, and I love that, because at the end of the day, that's how this industry works anyhow. The second thing that I want to hopefully instill in people and help them with, I talked about this on one of my calls recently, as a matter of fact, yesterday's call, perseverance. Um, People don't understand how to become financially free because they're just not looking at things right. And so when we talk about the type of person that I'd like to attract to this company, I'd like to attract a person who understands perseverance if in fact you're looking to accomplish anything in life, whether it's developing your business, whether it's developing financial freedom, whether it's developing a relationship, because relationships have ups and downs, don't they? Well, you'll need to persevere through that as well. Whether it's being persistent to go after and accomplish a heart goal that you have, that requires perseverance to not let go. And the last thing, which is, let me share this. I remember being in a board meeting, and it was quite a few very, very successful. When I talk about successful, I mean financially successful people in the room. And funny enough, we were just talking about leadership and all sorts of things, and a question came out, and that would be, what is the one characteristic that you think is the most important characteristic? And so everybody was kind of, rattling off their different words, or, whether it was persistence, an attitude of gratitude, all those different types of things, which were all fantastic. When it got to me and I had some time to think about it, I thought to myself, the reality is it's a humble heart. If you have humility, what that does is it attracts people to you. It allows you to be strong, and it allows you to not be so mirror focused. Mirror focused meaning focused on the person in the mirror that you look at all the time. And when that happens, it naturally, which is why I love this industry, naturally what ends up happening is you end up shedding light on other people. You end up focusing on other people. You end up getting up in the morning and doing things for other people. There's great football teams where they get in a big line, and it's all about the person in front of you, or it's always about the person behind you, but it's not about you. If you can start the day, Mike, and say, today's not about me. I'm in the business of changing people's lives. That's a mantra that I've been saying for too many years. It's making me old. I'm in the business of changing people's lives. How do you change a person's life? It could be $10, $5, 14 cents. It could be helping somebody load their groceries in a car. It could be, I don't know what it is. It's so many things to so many people. So the type of people that we want to attract to this company is people that are hardworking, people that want to make a difference, people that want to do well. We're not going to sit on our couches and expect things just to fall out of the sky, but also people that want to be humble. And I feel that to be humble is one of the most difficult things in the world, to be God honest truth with you. But when you can grab that and do that and think about others before yourself, that is what's going to make this company absolutely unstoppable.
100% agree, and agree with you. The leadership you've attracted already represents that just ideally, and it's just a huge, huge part of being able to fulfill a vision of this scale. And just real honor to be able to work with them and you. It truly is what matters. Uh, Powerful, powerful stuff. Really is. I think we've covered everything in a really short period of time that I picked up from that first conversation that you and I had that I wanted others to be able to get a sense of. Um, Before we wrap up, Ron, is there anything that you'd like to add for people? Anything that you want to say to them? Maybe it's people out there that have kind of been beat up by the world of opportunity. Maybe they've been beat up in crypto or other network marketing opportunities in the past. You spoke to that a little bit about the persistence it takes. Maybe they're feeling a little defeated.
Mm.
Anything you want to say to them as they're looking at this really timely moment of being able to be a founding member with Unifii, and they're listening and they're liking what they hear? Anything that you feel we might have missed or that you just want to underscore for that group?
Well, just understand that we're a legitimate company. We're set up to be able to provide a digital product around the world. There are no limits. We've done everything we possibly could to ensure that we can grow globally and do so quickly. We never ever touch anyone's money. We allow all your opportunities to be in your own hands, and we want to get us come up aside to you and be able to help you get along with it. If you've been burned and hurt in the past, do what we all do. Do some due diligence and don't give up. I mean, I've gone through some really tough times in my life. I really have. And the reality is, you just keep on putting one foot in front of the other, and you keep on moving forward. And I think what's really important, and this is me. Um, I think life is not a journey that you're supposed to do alone. I think oftentimes it's not everybody, but we find a partner and we want to, live life together, and then we bring little partnerettes along the way, and then beyond that, we just we become part of a community. We become part of something bigger than ourselves, and I think that is uplifting. I think it's encouraging. I think that sometimes there's a saying out there that sometimes you need the meeting and sometimes the meeting needs you. What does that mean? It means, sometimes there's days that you're going to help lift somebody up, and there's going to be days when people are going to lift you up. And when you're doing things alone, that can be really hard. So I think being part of a community that people that genuinely care, that want to do something bigger than themselves and have that right spirit of intent, that's what this company is about. Unifii, the name Unifii, is uni for university, a play on words. Phi is a play on finance. And unify is to be a unified group of people that want to go out and, love on each other, encourage one another, and go do some pretty darn cool things around the world with one another. And I think this is the home for that. That's the home we're trying to build, Mike. And we just encourage people to come and join us and be a part of it. And let me stop with this. Not only do we want you to be a part of it, but we don't want you to be on the outside looking in, get your hands dirty, be a part of it. That's really important, because oftentimes you can become part of something. You can go to a party and you can be on the outskirts watching everybody else dance and have fun. We're saying get your dancing shoes on, get in there and roll up your sleeves and have some fun and be a part of it. And I'll tell you what, I can guarantee you, you will feel awesome when you do become part of this company. That's our goal. And I'd like to end on that if I can.
Absolutely fantastic. Ron, really appreciate you taking the time. We're at the time that I'm recording this with you, you're launching officially tomorrow. Uh, you must be extraordinarily busy. So to take the time to be here with us today, real honor and really appreciate it. And I do feel anyone that listened to this has caught at least a strong glimpse of what I caught when I first met you about what's behind this, what's driving it, that it really has all the foundational components to not just go to the moon, but to take a lot of people with you. And like I say, it's a real honor to be working with you alongside you in this. It's quite a rare opportunity, I would say.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for putting this together, and for everybody listening in. Thank you for listening to me babble for 45 minutes. But I certainly hope you all take the opportunity to be a part of this company, and we just love to be able to do some cool stuff together. So thank you, Mike. Much appreciated, sir.
Absolutely, and thank you. And guys, is take Ron's advice, do your due diligence, come to this conclusion on your own. If you do your due diligence, get your questions answered, reach out to the person who referred you here. I am quite certain that you're going to come to the same conclusion we did, that this is a rare opportunity because of not just what the company's doing, but the people that you're going to be able to do it with. Thanks again, Ron. I look forward to this again in the future, and we'll talk to you guys all soon. Bye-bye, everybody.